both. Emma, I guess after the weekend, a match like tomorrow can't come soon enough back at the Bridge, can it?
Yeah, we're very excited to build on the performance of the weekend and make Stamford Bridge a bigger home for us. So yes, we're very excited.
In terms of team news, how's everyone looking?
Yes, everybody's available. Someone on pitch today needs some extra recovery. So we'll know a little bit more closer to kick-off, but no new injuries.
You're heading into quite a congested part of the season. The fact you could potentially reach the quarterfinals tomorrow before you head to Paris next week, how much would that ease the pressures?
It's the aim. We want to be in that position. We're at home. We've played the opponent before. We know their qualities. For us, we have to keep building on the qualities and the standards we've set for ourselves, as I've already mentioned. And I know you'll hear that from Erin beside, who's got the captain's armband tomorrow, that, you know, for us, the focus on ourselves is the key.
Today, Jessie Fleming's been linked with a move away from the club to the NWSL. How confident are you that she will or won't be here still at the club coming into the transfer window?
I think, not my job to comment on speculation.
Erin, first of all, congratulations on the captain's armband tomorrow. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I've had it a couple of times now, so it's always an honour, but I think nothing about me changes whether I've got the armband on or not. I'm still the same person. I'll still conduct myself the same way, so yeah.
Teams like Real Madrid under the lights at Stamford Bridge, are these the games that you look forward to the most?
Yeah, of course, when you're a young kid you want to be playing Stamford Bridge under the lights, playing against top team in Europe, so I'm really excited by it, but it's one that's a great challenge, and I think we'll be looking to win tomorrow night, but we know that it comes with a process. I think how we started the game on Sunday is how we'll be looking to start again tomorrow night. We certainly put them on the back foot, and we're making Stamford Bridge more and more our home, and when people come to our home, they don't dominate us, we dominate them.
On Sunday, I think LJ would have probably got the headlines, but your personal performance, you were here, there and everywhere. How much do the team need a performance like that on Sunday heading into this kind of size of game?
I think, we spoke a lot last week. I think the foundation of everything that we've done at Chelsea, certainly since I've been here in a good 7 years, has been hard work, doing everything for the team, doing exactly what the team needs and putting the team first always. And I think that comes from our defensive actions, and I think we got that spot on from a collective. Everyone done the job that was asked of them, and I think that allowed players like Lauren to go and shine.
Lauren after the game on Sunday, you think she'd just gone for a walk in the park, she was that laid back about it, but in the dressing room, does she celebrate a bit more, or is that just her all the time?
I think that's her general aura, but she acts the same as she does every day, and I think we've got a couple of players like that in the dressing room, and I think one thing that I've learned from being at the club is everyone acts very differently to how they are as a person and a character. But I think one thing we can never question, no matter what anybody's character is their commitment to the team, and I think Lauren showed exactly what she can do for the team on Sunday.
Emma, you're laughing there. Are you surprised about how chill she is all the time?
No, I'm not. That's who she is, definitely.
Thank you both.
Thanks.
Jeremy, next please.
Yeah, hi Emma. We didn't see Lauren James in the open training window this morning. Is she unwell or unfit, or just being rested before tomorrow?
Yeah, with it being a match day +2 and a match day -1, Lauren James is usually always given an extra recovery day there. So we'll assess it again in the morning, but nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you're being linked with Mayra Ramírez from Levante, which would be a record Chelsea signing. Can you confirm that at all?
No, I'm not going to comment on that either.
But she would be a quality replacement for Sam Kerr, would she not?
It'd be disrespectful for me to talk about players at other clubs, so I won't.
Yeah. And Erin, if Jessie Fleming is going to Portland, as we hear, what kind of tribute would you pay to Jessie?
Nothing's confirmed yet, so we don't have anything, so there'll be no tribute made until anything else happens. As far as I'm aware, I've not received any information.
Emma, on the first game in Madrid, it was quite controversial, wasn't it? You weren't happy with that 2-2 draw because you felt that a couple of big decisions went against you. What are your kind of reflections on that match now?
Well, they did. There was a goal scored legitimately that wasn't offside, and a penalty that wasn't inside of the box. So let's hope for strong officiating, and that's really what the girls deserve tomorrow, to make sure we're not on the receiving end of poor official decisions. Yeah, critical. We want that. We expect that for ourselves, and we're at home. I think everybody would expect us to be favourites going into the game. However, it's Real Madrid. They have a quality squad. They've got a lot of internationals, and they did score against us and draw with us in the reverse fixture. So we know what we have to do, and as I always say to our players, let's focus on that and put all our energy into making sure the performance is as good as it can be.
And in your last season at Chelsea, how much do you want the Champions League?
I mean, I want to be able to come in and don't get asked that question every time I'm in here. I want to talk about the importance of tomorrow night's game. I'm committed to that. I'm focused on that. And by the time I sit here for the Brighton game, I hope that we're talking about us qualifying for the next round. That's my only focus.
Thank you.
Emma, you absolutely made me eat my words last week when I said if you'd expect to return to form against United and produce one of the best performances I've seen this season. You clearly coped well without Sam. Do you need a replacement there?
I don't spend time thinking about replacements, and we all know Sam's a wonderful football player, but I also don't spend time thinking about players who are injured, because that isn't going to help the team win. My job is to put together, a starting 11 in every game and get finishers ready so that we're in a position to get 3 points. And I like the challenge of finding another way. We've done a lot of work internally, and I think everybody stepped up at the weekend, and my job is to make sure they do it again tomorrow.
You played Real Madrid in the group stage last season. You drew the away leg and then you won your home match. Almost seems written in the stars again.
I don't know about that. I don't pay attention to previous results because I think it's another season. They've got, different threats. I think they're pacey in the front areas. They're good in transition. They're good in wide areas. They've got players like Caicedo and Del Castillo who have the ability to cause problems as they did away from home. But we've got our game plan set. Players know their roles. Now we have to execute.
Connor?
Hi Emma. I just wondered if I could ask you about your goalkeepers. So in the last 6 competitive matches, you've used all 3.
Yeah.
Do you have a recognised number 1? And if not, what are the sort of tactical considerations that you consider when making a team selection?
As I stated at the weekend, the decision to go with Hannah was that we felt there would be an aggressive press from United, and not having Sam Kerr stretching teams out in a certain way. Hannah's technical qualities are far superior, and for those reasons we opted to go with her. No other reasons, but Hannah did really well, and this moment in time, she's hopefully gets the opportunity to build on that.
It was really good news last week with the announcement of Niamh Charles signing a new contract. Slight concern amongst fans with players like Sam Kerr and Frank Kirby. New contracts maybe in the offing for those, or is that something you could expect?
I'm not, I think we all know the club are in search and hopefully appointing soon a new manager, and I think that's the question that will be there for the club and for the new manager, and I'm sure as the club have got an update, they will share it.
Is that to say that their contract situation is dependent on the new manager search? Are the two linked?
No, I never said that. I just said that there's no update, and at the moment the focus is on hiring a new manager, and when the club has an update, they'll give you one.
Okay, and just finally, we talked before the Manchester United game about the prominence of away fans, and they certainly add to the atmosphere. Lauren got a bit of a few views, but she gave a bit back with her goal celebration. As we see more and more away fans getting involved, what does that add to the game?
Ask them, because they're the ones who have to play in it.
Yeah, good question. It certainly adds a bit of spice. I think as a player, I'm certainly a player who loves to play on the edge, and I think rivalry is so healthy, and the more we get it into women's football, the better, because it brings out performances that you maybe don't know you have inside you. And I think what Lauren's did is you find a way to use it, Like, you can either go one or two ways. You can collapse from it, or you can use it and then give it back. And I think it's great, and I think both sides of fans will welcome that. If it happened on the other end, you know, you have to be able to take it. But we certainly love it, and it should come into the women's football more and more.
Thank you. And just finally, Natalie Bourne, really good full debut for her the weekend. And Jess Carter naturally will probably be frustrated to be on the bench for such a big game. What sort of message does it send to any successful team to have that type of competition and that sort of quality on your bench?
That it's healthy, and that if you want to keep winning and competing, you have to expect that you have to be in an environment where there's always somebody who can take your place, and we've never been a team that stood still. So my message is always to the players in the squad that, you know, there's always going to be someone that will be knocking on the door to play, and if you don't produce performances, then expect that there will be competition.
Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Erin.
Thanks.
Emma, facing Real Madrid, I mean, it's a big surprise that they're not in contention as they come to play you. But, I mean, I guess you're not seeing that as having any less to play you. And when you think about a team with all the stars that have the World Cup winners in case they don't, the fact they've not getting through this group, it just shows how tough a group you are in and how well you've done to make sure you're at the top of it.
Yes. However, Erin and I had this conversation earlier. There's nothing more dangerous than playing a team that has nothing to play for. So they will fear nothing. They have their pride on the line, and yes, they're playing for 3 points, but they can't qualify. I think it's a dangerous place for us if our mentality is to rule them out of the game, and I'm sure Erin could elaborate on it. It's something we won't be doing.
No, certainly not. I've been in dressing rooms before where you technically don't have anything to play for, and I think that's when you express yourself the most, you play with the most amount of freedom. So I think they'll come out with nothing to lose and no expectations on them. The eyes won't be on them, and I think that's when, as a dressing room, I think we've went through that in previous years where nobody expects you to win. Everybody expects you, just to fall at the last hurdle, but I think they'll be looking to push and show exactly why they should be in Champions League and they should be qualifying. But to be honest with you, it's a really tough group. I think, we've showed that in the games that we played Paris. We played Häcken away and it was really, really tough. So I think all 4 teams in the group are very good.
For you, Erin, as well, I mean, what did you make of Madrid when you played them, even if you probably felt you should have won that game? What did you make of them as a team?
I remember being absolutely knackered after the game, and the manager will tell you the same. I remember we had too many transitions in that game. It was just transition, and you can't give that level of quality and pace that they've got, that much space, and it makes it a really tough job for the midfielders. I remember not being as happy with my execution because I remember I was doing so much defensive work that maybe I didn't have the quality to go and express myself. So I think first and foremost we'll be looking to be more compact, and I think like we were on Sunday, that provides a good foundation for everything successful we do moving forward. So expect them to be hard to break down, but I think we've got enough quality in the dressing room to believe in ourselves that we can do it.
You've obviously got the incentive that that if you win tomorrow, you might not wrap up first place, but you're definitely in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, it's a big incentive, and if you can't get up for a game like tomorrow night, then you question being at a club like Chelsea, to be honest. So it's certainly something in my mind. I can't wait for the game. You just want it to come now, even though your legs are tired. You find a way to push through, and I think everybody in that dressing room won't need any motivation to get up for tomorrow night.